Citizens of the Reject Nation, it's time for Monarch, episode 5 today. John, how are you?
I'm excited -1.
Ladies and gentlemen, please roar at that like button, smash that subscribe button. Thank you to Prepper for editing down these highlights. Thank you to all who have followed us on our Patreon page. That's where you can catch the full-length reaction watch-along where you sync with your own copy of Monarch, where we cover several things exclusively with highlights and watch-alongs included. Let's see how exciting and awesome this episode is.
You think you can intimidate me with all this secret Black Ops bullshit?
No.
I survived G-Day. Great sound designs.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Who was in the gurney? Is that his dad watching? Oh, she looks well rested.
Feeling better?
I feel great.
Still count to 10 on my toes. You're very lucky we rescued you when we did.
Monarch heals.
Can you wiggle your big toe?
I assume you were folding the data on our stolen files. I couldn't recover anything.
Maybe you're not as good as you think.
But a smart girl like you would have a backup, no? In the ether. Traditionally, when someone discovers a new species,
They get to name it.
they get to name it for themselves. But we have a dilemma here. Should we call it
Meiju?
Titanus May Hewitt? Or Lyra Mateo of Tacoma, Washington?
Oh shit, backstory.
It's that one.
That picture doesn't really look like you.
Or are you McLovin, the 25-year-old Hawaiian organ donor?
Who are you really?
It's not crazy to think we could help each other.
Maybe even
Like I said, it's
love each other.
always good to have a backup.
Amen. Oh shit, they're finally gonna be answering the show's biggest questions. Who is Stoic Girl?
Eggshell White.
The Randa children know nothing.
They are Hiroshi Randa's kids. They are Bill and Keiko Randa's grandkids. We're treating them like they're criminals.
They are legacy characters.
She's a school teacher, okay? No record. The son is an artist.
Everyone's a critic.
This one is interesting. From the way she swept her apartment, she knows how to disappear.
Why? What is she hiding from?
She's ex-CIA.
This organization is in their blood. We can teach them who they are. Monarch is their legacy.
Legacy hasn't served people well around here, has it?
It's a legacy of monsters.
So the monsters is the monarch, the people. The monsters are the people.
Monstark.
So I say we put them on a long leash. See where they lead us.
Long leash and a choke chain.
What about him?
He's my problem now.
You bet your ass he is.
Why don't you guys go ahead and come on out? Please do watch your step, though. It's slippery.
They want them to become Monarch agents?
Yeah.
That's an interesting turn of events.
Plane tickets, money, phones, courtesy of Monarch. I'm very sorry about all of this.
Frick?
Asshole.
He just wants them to like him.
You think that you're on some righteous crusade to uncover the truth?
Yeah.
Wake up!
Ooh.
I've already used what little influence I have to cover your asses this time. Don't expect it to happen again.
That was just part of his plan, wasn't it?
How was that?
Yep.
You're learning.
Get them interested. Yeah. Hooking them in. Be less suspicious if we knew where Kurt Russell was.
He's fine. He's chowing down on a steak right now. And solitary.
Sorry for your loss. Like they care.
Clearly not. Basic economy.
They would have flown us first class.
You're leaving?
Yeah, you heard the man. We have lives to get back to.
In Tokyo? The one you said I destroyed?
I have to do...
Stuff.
Stop it. Is there a bar anywhere, somewhere?
It's not open yet.
1 star.
No, man, please, I'll make you a cocktail.
What about Colonel Shaw?
What about him?
He knew our father was still alive.
No, and neither do you.
But we don't know that he's dead either. I'm not stopping. I need to know what happened to him.
We all need to know.
Monarch may know how to find the Titans, but they don't know how to find Dad.
He's the real Titan.
I already searched his office.
Not the one in San Francisco. Backup family, backup office.
Let's go.
Y'all can have the files, but they could get you killed.
Or you. We can't split up. We need you.
We're a family now. Oh,
that's cool.
Why are you showing me this?
You want to bet she's still alive? I bet she's still alive.
She's probably still alive.
As unpredictable as this show has been.
No, they're going to surprise us with this one. Oh, cool. Wowie. They did it. Deep fake technology.
The Randa boy had that film on him. I'd never seen it. We stand on the shoulders of giants.
I had no idea.
Oasis album.
Weighing them down. Doing what Monarch does best.
And what's that, Colonel?
Nothing.
Monarch Legacy of Nothing.
Hiroshi Randa's kids. That's doing something.
Those kids have already survived more situations than half the people you got working in your field up.
And we've only been doing that for a day.
You ever think Hiroshi had a reason for not telling his kids what he did here?
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't want this life for them.
I have thought about that, actually.
You guys are so mysterious.
I'll ask him when I see him.
Yeah, reunion.
I'm assuming you don't mean in the afterlife.
No.
You're not going anywhere.
And you're not getting anywhere, are you?
You need me.
Well played.
You say he helped found Monarch, but that was in the 50s.
40s, actually.
So he should be, what, 90 at least? How does he look like that?
There's rumors of a mission gone bad.
That's what Hiroshi works on.
How did he go straight from an old folks' home to finding a titan no one in the entire organization knew existed? What does he know? And don't tell me it's all in the files.
Oh, he's got like Titan blood in him.
Yeah. He's the little clone girl from Jurassic World.
I'm gonna get really carried away with my theories. G-Day.
Dang. Still gotta rebuild. Oakland. Ryan Coogler joint now.
You good?
Not how I thought I'd make my first trip to the States.
What, feeling lost? Unsure of what you're looking for? What you're gonna find?
His voice sounds so American.
I know. His accent is flawless.
Who is this?
It's James.
Kate!
Hi, James.
What are you doing here, James? I told Mom we'd be fine.
We're not fine.
I'm James, Caroline's work friend. Pleasure to meet you.
May and Kintaro.
Welcome.
Hey.
Welcome.
Oh my god, dude.
That was courteous.
Yeah, of course. My bad.
Is it true they're selling tours of the destroyed city?
They did,
Yeah, too many people get irradiated.
before the military walled it off.
Trauma tourists. Getting off on the disaster porn or trying to prove it was all a government conspiracy.
Yes.
Oh my god, trauma tours? That's a thing? That's cool.
Tell your mom I'll see her tonight. Welcome back.
I think he's dating her. I think they're banging.
Yeah. It's Mom's new sugar cub.
Wow, Kate, you're back.
Oh boy.
You're back.
Oh. You got a lot to live up to, Mom.
Mom, this is May and Kintaro.
I'm Caroline.
Hi.
Pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
I feel like she recognized that name.
She knows.
Both come from Tokyo? Yeah. Which part? Because my husband used to travel
Mom,
there
this
a
is
lot.
Kintaro Randa.
Oh, just rip that Band-Aid off.
You asked what I found in Tokyo.
My god, reversal. It's the opening credits.
James is my work friend. We collect people's personal items.
James and his giant peach.
Man, they know how to cast the moms.
I know. The heart of the show.
We never ask for money or valuables. They always seem to be asking for these things, their personal memories.
Aw.
Oh, wait, let me help you.
I got...
I don't need your help with anything.
Stop! I got it.
You look so much like him.
Inviting him in to get settled like your husband's secret son walks in every day?
What do you expect me to do? Throw him out? Have a hysterical breakdown?
Go for it. I wouldn't blame you.
Anyone on this show have a hysterical breakdown.
No, man. Legacy of repressed.
Your father was never really all here. Find out if he was having an affair or had a girlfriend.
So you sent me there. And you pushed because you wanted the truth, but you were too chicken shit to go yourself.
Wow, yeah.
Don't talk to me like that. I only wanted what was best for you.
And this was it?
I mean,
Yes. What was I supposed to do? You spent all day.
tell her. Go find out if your dad had an affair.
Go all the way to Japan.
You couldn't even lift a finger to help yourself.
It was my choice.
And I wasn't going to sit around and watch my daughter herself.
Oh.
We're going to Dad's office.
We don't even know if there's anything left of his office.
Well, you can get us into the city to find out.
No, not into the red zone. The military has it cordoned off. They're arresting looters every day. Some of them even get shot.
Let's go.
It's a weird choice, Mom. Weird choice, gotta say.
That's what I would do. Seems like the most logical scenario to get to the answers quickly.
He's got Godzilla trauma to deal with. Dad dead trauma.
Take a trip.
Go to Japan and find out if he's having an affair.
Where's Colby tonight? Kid's got the flu. Again?
Oh, damn, she got some secrets, too.
He's got Godzilla flu. He's got Kai flu.
For your troubles. We don't want to hold your line up.
Oh, my God, I guess it is just a work friend.
They'd be bribing?
Get these folks moving. We're good to go. Roger that.
Such tension.
Hope you get a day off tomorrow, Carla. You deserve it. Thanks.
Good to go.
History. Good hint at history there. Appreciate that they gave that character a name.
I love that character. And her name.
It's cool, you can see the bridge through the fog.
Yeah, it's eerie.
Terrifying reminder.
How can anyone believe this is fake?
Oh, you'd be surprised.
The guards make sure that everybody we bring in comes out with us.
They'll assume you're looters. No questions, no excuses.
And we need to leave by morning. We'll be here at 8. At 8:15, they close the gates.
Damn. 15 minutes gonna be enough? You're gonna get into some kind of chase.
Stakes are high.
Got to get some answers.
Oh, no, there is something intimate going on. This show's just about affairs and intimacy.
Yeah, and repressed people who don't know how to communicate.
It's like Closer. It's called Closer? Yeah, it's called Closer.
Yeah.
The one with Jude Law, Natalie Portman, and Julia Roberts, and Clive Owen. That Closer.
Yeah.
You went decades between escape attempts. Why start raising hell again now?
You're supposed to be 90.
Yes.
Smartest people on the planet have had 60 years to prepare for G-Day. Let them fight. That's the best they could come up with.
Let them fight.
Was he in the room in Sarah Zawa says that?
I don't know.
What's hiding in Miranda's files?
Nothing you don't already know.
You think you had it rough playing shuffleboard and trimming your bonsai tree?
I never said I had it rough. I got...
I swear to God, I can bury you deep.
6 foot deep.
Monarch is wrong.
You're lying.
Has been for a long, long time.
Ooh, the theme music.
All this dialogue has been, tell me what I want to know about mysterious thing.
Oh, you don't even realize how mysterious things are.
Yeah, you don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even know. What don't I know?
We don't
The
owe you
thing-
information.
No.
I know!
We don't have the information either.
And then it goes, equals mysterious.
Even if a building looks undamaged, the attack undermined the foundation, so sometimes you'll hear one just suddenly collapse.
It makes a lot of sense. Played enough video games that's some of the same thing.
You snacking back here?
Might as well. Probably boring after a certain point. I do love those Godzilla sets from the other movie.
Yes. It's really giving me fond memories of watching that film.
Is this your neighborhood?
Yeah, it was our favorite little coffee shop.
Starbucks.
Oh my
Brown's
God.
Hero. I like it.
Oh my God, this show just got a lot better.
Wokezilla.
Oh my God, yes. Oh, yes!
Character development.
More of that.
I needed that.
Oh.
I needed that too.
Dude, the barista and the guy back there are also having a great exchange. Oh, and it's right under the pride flag. I guess it is San Francisco.
Yeah, of course. It's the first of the month.
More gays.
Hey! Everyone in San Francisco is gay.
Everyone's gay.
It's cheaper to live with two rather than one.
Aww.
You don't have to choose between your Ethiopian dark roast or food every day.
I'll be your sugar mama.
Haven't you learned your lesson? Haven't you?
Yeah.
Question. Mystery.
Thematic.
About what? Mystery. You don't know?
We can't hide our pride. Dude, I bet Godzilla like incinerated her personally.
Oh my God.
So it begins.
So it begins.
You mean the beginning of the end? When two women kiss, it's hot. When two guys kiss, I cry.
And then they went to their 6th grade math class.
Minus
minus one. They had to know.
They changed the credits.
Yeah, I bet they probably maybe did.
Their parents are scared of the giant monsters.
Mine aren't. My dad said it's a hoax to burst the real estate balloon.
Definitely, he's right.
All right. Phone's away. This has to be a prank of some kind.
Aww.
You're all freaking weird.
Spare their feelings.
Everyone okay here?
We're fine. Today's lesson. Don't believe everything you see on the internet.
We're monitoring the situation closely. Make sure their phones are charged and they all know their family reunification plans.
Wowie.
Yeah.
We decide to close the school.
But educate them.
Yes.
Teach them. I'm sure they can focus.
Go on with your lessons plan.
Yeah. I like these Quiet Place flashbacks.
The first Quiet Place minus one.
Who's there? Come out where we can see you.
Minus one equals ground zero.
What? Psychic power?
Last of Us.
Where's this one headed? North towards the Golden Gate. Come on in. Come on.
Gay day.
Gay day. There's got to be some kind of correlation.
They're only letting buses across the bridges. Kate, are you chaperoning this one? I can take it if you want to stay with Danny.
Oh, that's right. She was on a school bus. You think she's alive?
Her love.
This is exciting. I would have gladly have seen an episode that just took place in this shit. This is great. The suspense of these flashbacks feels very Last of Us.
Got this.
They like chips.
Yeah, they will be able to resist.
Is that a chip on the ground?
Hey, get everyone.
Back of chips.
Or divide these up evenly.
You got movement?
Titans.
Oh, the original Titans.
Just more damn cats. I think we should start shooting them.
There's so many cats in the quarantine zone. There's got to be a correlation.
Legacy of Kittens. Look how cool these shots are, though, man.
They're pretty sick. Good set design. Good debris.
Lower the volume.
Move. Get out the way.
Look at him. He's an older brother cheering up his sister. John, you're not taking any of this seriously. Never pretending to take it seriously.
Aww, that was a sweet moment.
You're trying too hard, John.
Dad would sing these cheesy
Oh, but it relates to their dad, so it's plot development.
I'm glad they feel comfortable to sing loudly after almost encountering
those soldiers. Oh my god.
Yeah, they're
There's tall cats over there.
You know, it'd be a real boss move if they got Aaron Taylor Johnson back.
That would be sick. I would actually be very excited. Whoa.
Guys, they're entering all their flashbacks. That is cool.
Whoa.
Help me.
I do like the bleeding of reality in these bits. Whoa.
Oh, just other people.
Damn, a whole group. It's like the Walking Dead down here. It's us or the kaiju.
This way.
Hey, they're doing some cool shots here with the lighting, though.
Hey. Go ahead without me.
Yes.
We're going together or not at all.
Yeah, come on. You can do this.
We're a family. Maybe her lover's still alive, loving somebody else.
Only lovers left alive.
One of them goes through.
No, you don't know that. You can't know that. We're gonna die down here.
You sound just like Dad. Oh.
What do you have to do that's more important than us?
Oh.
I'll just go ahead and find a way out.
Just go.
Aw, poor woman. I mean, she's always on the verge of tears, but doesn't quite ever get there.
It's a good metaphor
She's
for
trying.
this show.
Breathe with me.
No, I can't.
There it is. There it is.
Yes, you can. Come on, Ren.
Come on, Randa.
Breathe out
No
the pain.
Japanese
there
David
you go.
Hayter. Whoa.
I mean, I find her pain the most interesting because it's directly correlated to the monsters.
And it would be a very real thing a lot of people would experience. Got to get those -1s as many times as we can.
Hey.
Whoa.
That's a different woman.
Yeah.
You're living an enlightened life.
Oh my God, she was having an affair. You're just like your father.
Oh, 2 families. Or maybe she just has
So
a
hot.
healthy and robust romantic life.
No, I'll go. It's fine.
Wow.
And she got a key to the house.
Dude, that's why she was so blocked off.
I didn't learn my lesson. We were good. You don't want good.
Oh,
She
dude.
sabotages.
I don't deserve this. That anyone would do shit for me when all I ever do is let him down.
I hear you.
How am I any better?
You didn't let me down when I was freezing to death in Alaska. The only way out is through.
True that.
I found a way out.
And it's through.
Just follow the cats.
What do you know? Do you think Kate had kids with that other woman?
Definitely. And there's a whole other side Monarch show happening where those kids are looking for them right now. Hey, buddy. This must have been a fun day on set.
Yeah, but cats are going on strike now.
Yeah.
They want an equal fair.
Animal actors don't want to be replaced by CGI any longer.
What floor is it on?
Dad loved a view.
The penthouse. The pinnacle.
It's funny to have a show with Kurt Russell on here when we're totally getting Escape from New York vibes. References.
Oh.
References for days. Cloverfield.
Every movie is like a bunch of other movies. All of his offices look exactly alike.
The pencil shavings. He was messy, but he was a scientist.
That's dangerous.
What?
What? Maybe we should look at the actual map itself.
Yeah. Maybe one of them is a photographic memory.
The orbital arcs of satellites are sine waves. These pathways, there's something else.
Oh.
These points.
They're like constellations.
But it's not a star map.
Star maps.
It's a world map, but he's hidden the continents.
We gotta get to Alaska.
Yes. Retrace our steps. They're migratory patterns.
Oh my God, are we getting a Raiders of the Lost Ark moment? Let's go.
Oh, yeah. And it makes a shape.
Can you hold that up over there?
Oh, do an alignment thingy and use the sun?
My first art installation was about projected images.
That's convenient.
How putting one image on another can reveal something completely
Oh my
new.
God.
Yeah, I remember.
They teach you that in Japan?
Dude, your dad passed on all these, like,
Yeah, man.
genetic
That's why he had multiple families.
choice-making
To create
tendencies.
a super team at Monarch.
Yeah, with just all the right instincts.
He got it wrong the first time.
Yeah.
Give it a
this
realistic
time.
touch.
Oh, look out now.
San Francisco. Alaska.
Oh.
Africa.
Wow.
Madagascar 3?
We gotta go to Africa.
All around, we gotta go.
Bring the window.
Yes. And can we keep the sun at this point in the sky? Ooh, thank God that's over.
Tension.
Yeah.
Relief.
I don't think anyone get out of that. Get out of there.
I'm sorry for what Dad did to you. 30 years you wasted your life on him.
I encouraged this.
I had many affairs.
I wanted to be Polly.
I could have gone to Tokyo, but I didn't want to know the truth. I liked having a part-time husband.
Oh,
But that meant that you had a part-time father, and you deserve more than that.
that is a nuance.
That's why she could not be full-time lover.
Part-time lover and a full-time friend.
Dad didn't die in Alaska. He worked for some secret organization like the CIA,
But for monsters.
for Godzilla.
He worked for Godzilla?
What was the onboarding like?
How does Godzilla write paychecks?
Yeah.
What kind of payroll does he establish?
What kind of currency is this based on? Is it Japanese money?
What if he loses his temper in a meeting?
I'm gonna call my mom.
Yes.
Remember the rule?
Non-specific.
Yep.
Get the mom on the phone with your other mom.
Mom, I'm going to Africa. So we went to Japan for my race. Now we're going to Africa for her race.
Yes, we're gonna find everybody's ancestors. Yeah, dude. Maybe May has a lost somebody.
Yo, who's she gonna call?
She's gonna call Jack Reacher.
I want to go home.
What?
Oh.
Tell me what I need to do.
What?
Don't leave the show and give all the info to Monarch.
I'll be in touch.
Dude, it's been such a big mystery about her home, though. Like, where is she at this whole time? Like, where does she come from? Who are you?
I like you, stoic lady.
Dude, those scenes at Monarch were crazy. They were like, oh, there's so much you don't know. And they're like, yo, you don't know what you really don't know. And what you want to
realize how much there is not to know.
Oh, there's so much knowing that you're just not believing.
Facts, man, they're hard to come by in these parts. All we got is mystery.
I've been really satisfied with 5 episodes of that.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, it's 5 episodes of like, man, my dad was real tough. But why did he do this to us? Well, we got to find him, though. Okay.
Yeah.
But, man, he was tough. But we got to find him. Yeah. He kind of traumatized us, but we got to find him.
Yo, Cape just be dropping truth bombs to her mom like nobody's business.
I know. Well, we can't afford to, unpack this. We got to get it out there and friggin' quarantine zone it up.
So when I go show up to see my mom after all this time, yo, Dad had an affair. That's the son over there.
Yeah, hey, listen.
Why aren't you reacting the way I would expect you to react?
Why aren't you taking this more gracefully / also unpack this with me right now?
All right, day 2. All right, now that I'm back here in the morning after you've pulled an all-nighter. Dad, he worked for the secret organization of people who...
They worked for Godzilla.
They worked for Godzilla.
Yeah, man.
Damn.
It's compelling drama.
Kate, don't be stopping. But
Never.
In terms of character drama, I think whoever plays Kate, I think she is the best she's been so far.
Agree.
Mm-hmm. See, there are good ways of saying it. She's the best she's been so far.
This episode gave her some stuff to work with.
I was here just going like, I would have rather watched her pointless prequel show that took place during the events of Godzilla.
Sure, where we could actually feel like we're not being teased with an old movie.
Like it's like the flashbacks, even though they're flashbacks, I thought the flashbacks were more compelling and intense. I'm talking about even the moments where you don't see Godzilla. Like that alone was just so immediate, and then having to handle the relationship drama in the midst of knowing that of the impending doom that where are they? San Francisco?
Yes.
Yeah.
Currently.
Knowing where the impending doom of San Francisco is before them, and then also the naivety of the nativity story.
The nativity scene, yeah.
Of like, oh, we're at school and they're like, it might be fake. Like, I like the nuance of that, of her seeing the phone. I thought about that too. I was like, oh, you know what? If they were like, there's a monster attack and someone showed me footage on YouTube,
I'd be like, this is really good.
That looks great.
Whatever
that
kid
looks so
in his living
real.
room made this did a good job.
Yeah, that looks, but I totally wouldn't believe it either.
Yeah.
But if they're in San Francisco, would there be like rumbles happening?
Well, there would be too much, I feel like,
like
to write
military
this off.
and
I'm sure
planes
somebody would
and-
be able to, and the further away you are, sure. But I feel like people in
there's like
San
no
Francisco,
kids at school today.
yeah, I'm like if you I'll give a massive benefit of the doubt to people who might have been out of town. But if you were anywhere near San Francisco at the time, how could you have any reservation about the thing that like caused all this, seismic activity, destruction, loud, sirens and explosions and popping and crushing and all this stuff?
Well, you see, okay, they've mentioned -1 here a couple of times, and I'm going to tell you why -1 is a very interesting character drama. of why it still works, even though Godzilla's like only in the movie for like 20 minutes in that film, without spoiling it.
Okay.
Is that the character's traumatic memory is linked to an encounter with Godzilla.
Yes.
And everything we were watching after it, do you know anything about Minus One?
Not really.
You know anything? I don't know. I didn't know anything about it either.
I don't know anything.
It was good.
I've only heard people describe what they love about it, which have not been in any.
You don't know anything
terms.
about the plot?
I don't know anything about how the movie presents itself. I just know that it has very endearing and rich human characters.
Okay, then I won't go too far into it because I didn't know any. I didn't even know when it took place and all that. So I was like, watch.
Yeah, I don't know any of that.
Yeah.
Somehow, at the moment, I know almost nothing about it other than everyone's like, this could win an Oscar if they wanted it to, you know?
It's pretty great.
And it was made for $15 million, apparently.
Yeah. So that's just one element of why. Okay, I'd have to elaborate a little bit more to really explain why.
It sounds like the
human
traumatic flashbacks are very vital to the telling of that story.
But even when they're not focused on Godzilla and they're focused on like other stuff, there's still some type of connection where the shadow that Godzilla casts.
Yeah, the pall.
The pall is the word for it.
Yeah.
You love that word, but I just think of Paul from Heavy Spoilers, so
Oh,
I don't use
sure.
that often.
P-A-L-L.
I know what the word is.
If like a
It's like
hall.
casting this dark shadow over things. That's why I said that.
Looming pyre. Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, yeah, it's like I'm being kind of, for anyone who's seen the movie, it's like I would go a little further. I'm like, yeah, I'm intentionally holding back
preserving
because-
my virgin ears.
Yeah. And so I think with Kate, that's part of what makes her a little interesting is her even though like there's a lot like, okay, this thing with her lover and cheating and all that and her dad, I don't know, it's more interesting than it was before is what I could say.
It is.
It was more interesting than it was before. I want to be nice today, John.
I know.
I want to be nice.
I'll be the curmudgeon.
You
the
want to be
guy.
nice.
I mean, no,
There was cool shots that reminded me of The Last of Us in the world, and Kurt Russell's charming, and and I liked him. He's a good actor.
He's a good actor. And
being nice
the
today.
deputy lady, I like her too, and I like this
Yeah,
the
good actors.
stoic action Kobe Smulders lady.
I like Kentaro. Just the first time in America, first time being around a bunch of like destruction and rubble, and he's just so casual and cool.
Just be chilling. Yeah.
Eating his Funyuns or whatever.
Yeah, man. I thought it felt like there was a scene deleted somewhere there. I mean, it was nice.
I like the mom casting.
The moms continue to kill it.
Moms know how
on
to be
this
cast.
show.
Cast
Whoever
the mom.
casts this show has a good
Whoever
relationship
cast-
with their mom.
Yeah.
Whoever writes these scripts seems to have a good relationship with their mom, just because the
Yeah.
moms are inevitably the most. The Kentaro's mom is a better character than Kate's mom, just because we've spent more time with her. But they're both the characters with the most heart so far.
They're different.
I know.
They're different characters.
I'm not saying they're not. I agree.
Kate's mom has dealt with G-Day.
Yeah, and she's like continuing to, whereas Kentaro's mom is like kind of completely, as we understand, sort of separated from all that stuff.
Yeah.
And no, I like
Kentaro's mom seems like she kind of knew.
Sure. Yeah, well, and deep down, Kate's mom certainly didn't try too hard to confirm or deny her suspicions, which means deep down she knew.
Yeah, totally.
So I appreciate those things. I thought this was a decent episode.
Totally,
I
man.
like getting these little glimpses and stuff like that, little flesh on the character bones.
Totally. That
All
was
that
great.
shit is nice. I keep on. You said something during one of those scenes about like
I take it
you're
back.
always. Well, then I'm gonna re-say it and take credit for saying it. That the lead is always kind of on the verge of tears but never quite crying, and I feel like that's how this show operates in terms of character development. I'm always like, oh, we're introducing something that could be an interesting, nuanced thread that we could just spend a moment having, play out, and we got kind of close to some of those things. I think the sweetest moment is when Kentaro is trying to cheer her up and they're singing this silly little song together. even though that kind of clashes with the circumstances, but I'll let it slide. There's a lot of lamp shading of those things, but that's fine.
I think they want to be The Last of Us, but
but they're not
pacing wise. They can't do it.
I don't,
because there is there is like a somber, melancholic thing that I think they want to do, but
you want to look up at those buildings and have that like whoa, like that sort of breathtaking existential conundrum that happens when you see like a man-made structure, ruined by nature or completely reclaimed by nature.
Well, I saw this quote going. I think it was from Matt Shackman, and it was something about what would get people to return every week is the characters, not the monsters.
It's a bit of both.
It's called Monarch Legacy of Monsters, by the way. So, I kind of show for some monsters, but whatever.
Just having the characters on screen is what people show up for, I guess, by that metric.
Yeah.
Because the characters certainly were on screen a lot during this episode, but this feels like it is written by... I'm so baffled that it's Matt Shackman partly helping to shepherd this, just because this does feel like it is written by people who are divorced from the idea that the plot is not the story necessarily. So like I always feel when I'm watching this like, okay, this is like a 100% plot show, and any piece of character intimacy we get, barring a couple, is like for functionality and for the plot. Like I liked
John, maybe.
I liked that we got a glimpse into Kate's life.
That's your opinion.
I always just feel like we're scratching the surface of these things, and I'm not. Again, it's weird. It's weird to be in this. I don't know how to quite articulate this position, because I'm not sitting here going, I want life-changing drama out of this. I just want to feel like there's like character beats where like somebody brought a little bit of their own life experience and like. Everything is very boilerplate continually. So it's like, oh, here's her tragic backstory. She had a love, and that love's a woman. And because her dad is bad at families, she's bad at commitment. And I'm like, cool. That's a good beat. That's a good character nuance. That's something that real people embody. However, I really feel like I just experienced only those bullet points and not an actual... I don't know, like when scenes play out the way they're written here, it kind of starts to dismantle all the other movie magic that goes into it, because then I just feel like I'm watching pretty actors on a pretty set.
Well, it's not. I think what you're trying to say, your opinion, not mine.
Yes,
is
I am alone.
You are very much
on this
alone
hill that I've chosen to die on.
I hope you know that. I share none of this. I think what you're trying to say is that it's not really about, hey, I want to spend like more time in these scenes. You just want like a movie like Godzilla Minus One is 2 hours.
Okay.
We've been here for 5.
Yeah. Yeah. This episode felt like 2 hours.
And
it's not that
and my
bad.
point is that the common rhetoric with that movie is people connect with the characters, and
it can be done,
and it's not about because they gave me 5 hours with the characters.
Yeah,
it's just about how you execute the particular scenes where the emotion is there, with a combination of performer and qualitative writing and direction in the moment. There's a lot that goes into communicating an emotion, which is editing, your music choice, the atmosphere, the performance, the dialogue. There's a lot that it's not about like, I want to see more of this affair.
Yeah.
It's just about like
it's how you articulate it.
It's how those certain scenes go down that should evoke an emotion in you, is what I think you're trying to say. I completely feel all those things.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm halfway to tears every time.
It feels like it just they deliver. They keep delivering information rather than like letting anything like breathe in
I could
itself.
see why
and
you
it's
feel
like,
that way, not me.
Well, yeah. And my personal opinion is that it's like, if you're gonna go woke, embrace it, bro. No, like I don't know. Like, it's nice that they made her, a queer character, but it also feels, it's weird. It doesn't feel necessarily quite as shameless as I'm sure somebody will say, like, it's pandering. Like, they spend enough time, and it's like hard enough to cut down for some foreign market that doesn't approve of that it feels like they committed to the choice. However, it also doesn't feel like it serves much of a purpose, which I guess is cool. I guess you want it to be such that, like, oh, these characters are gay, and the issues they're dealing with are universal still. She can't commit because of her dad, and she's sabotaging this situation with her I guess girlfriend or her potential lover by, sleeping around, and like all that is fine. Like, you can, again, you don't have to create like the most unfathomable circumstances to make me endeared to your character. You just got to treat it like it's not requisite information delivery, I guess is how it always feels to me. So, it's like I can always feel the actors. I feel bad because I always feel the actors carrying all the way to the script. Like, the script weighs so much down on this show. For me, solely
I think chemistry is very important, and I think what you're trying to say too is you don't feel like a real sense of chemistry with our main cast of characters.
Not really, and I don't know.
But that's your opinion.
What to attribute that to? Yeah, no, don't put. I won't put words in your mouth.
Maybe it's the cast.
Well, and I like all the cast individually, yeah. And there's something about I can feel the potential that these actors would potentially have chemistry, and at the same time, I don't feel like the direction is like bad, but I also don't think the direction is particularly attuned to character stuff either. So like the most effective things are when you're like in the quarantine zone and you got like the vibes to ride in on. But it's like, if you want this to be your Last of Us episode 3, you I don't like, it's weird. They have this whole motif of her PTSD, which is such an interesting thing to do here, and I feel like it is simply just an excuse to have Godzilla footage.
Sometimes it feels like, and again, this is just what I imagine you're trying to say.
Yes, only me.
Is that,
yeah, please help me.
Yeah, is that sometimes it feels like actors with potential who are figuring out these scenes in an acting class.
Kind of. It feels like we're watching rehearsals before they actually found the right camera angles and like the right approach to the scene. Like, every scene feels like we're watching rehearsal and we're watching them test out a camera angle, and it's so strange. Like, it's a fascinating conundrum because the Monsterverse movies have always been up and down in how they handle human characters. But I feel like the movie that they're hearkening back to the most, the 2014 one, has arguably the most tempered grip on that.
John, we don't need to repeat ourselves over and over again, especially yourself.
I know. I am alone in this, and I just keep on hogging the mic.
Like, especially after watching, and I felt this way with the other movies. After every movie after Godzilla 2014, I felt this way. Is that, sure, the characters suck, but whenever they get to, I do like Gia and Alexander's. I do like the little, I don't know the actor's name. I do like Gia, and I like Alexander Skarsgård.
Yeah,
I do like that. Anyway,
that GVK at least made the characters palatable.
But my point is that whenever they actually get to the monster stuff, though, they give so much TLC to that.
Yeah.
Not just in like visual effects, but like there is an emotion and it is genuinely like exciting and fun and cool. And you're at least like, well, at least I know why I'm here. and they're in a rush to get to here. And this show is not about the monsters. This show is about its characters.
And its mystery box.
And it's like, but its characters and these are just not as
it feels like it's about its characters, but written by somebody who is being forced to write about these characters and doesn't actually want to. Like, I don't know. I can't tell what they want because it doesn't seem like they're struggling to bring in kaiju. Today. I know. I'm sorry.
It's Legacy of Monsters. The monsters are demons in our past or something. I think is what they're saying.
And Monarch is bad, but maybe not all bad.
Monarch, legacy of our past consequences and choices. some fucking bullshit writing cliche.
Yeah, and just so much of what is happening is just like I don't know. I feel like
it's supposed to go hand in hand.
Yeah,
it's supposed. I think that's the thing is like you want like. I'm not big on the shoulds and shouldn'ts of right. I'm really not big on that. I am thinking though why it's not as effective, and it's because they normally. That's why I keep comparing it to Minus One with the vagary I'm doing because I don't want to spoil anything for John. Is that you need it to go? There needs to be a link between the.
There needs to be an interplay between like the adventure circumstances and the character growth.
Yeah, like as they're facing. So Kate's the closest you'll get.
Yeah,
but like Kentaro, a dedicated episode to uncovering his art history.
Why is Sam here? That's the point of that episode. Is why is Sam here?
Has nothing to do with
or May.
Kaiju.
Sorry, May, not Sam. Yeah.
May. Why has nothing to do with Kaiju or Godzilla or any of that shit.
Yeah,
like it needs to go hand because it feels like they're completely separate things. Like one is like this person can have a backstory, but once it becomes like the focus of something, you're like, well, this feels so divorced and not in correlation, or
they don't feel complementary. And they don't feel like they're shaping each other. Like there should be a back and forth of like this journey.
I'm trying to be nice.
The more they discover about their dad's alternate life, the more it should sort of alter and enlighten their growth along the way. And I feel like,
or it should lead to something about Monarch, even if it's not about kaiju. It should be something with a plot.
And
like
they keep talking.
The plot and character development have to go hand in hand, and the character development just seems like such a separate thing.
It feels completely divorced and like a thing we do when we have time for it, or when we need to create some kind of tension. Like it's so weird. I loved that they went into the quarantine zone, and I thought they could have made that more tense. And the most tension you get is when she's having the panic attacks.
Stupid soldiers.
And you got these dumb soldiers.
Evaded like a video game maneuver.
And it's just this one little cluster of them. And then, and then you follow the cat. Like, it's interesting the way that they seem to just keep this cycle going of like, we're just got to keep going around the world to find dad. We got to find dad. And everywhere we go, there's some more information about what dad knows about this stuff, but it never feels like we're getting little rewards of information along the way, and people just keep again, it feels like a J.J. Abrams mystery box where people keep on talking up like, oh man, our deep dark secrets, we can't get them out there, and you know stuff that we don't know, and your dad, and I'm like, is there anything in the box?
But Lost at least had like something that felt like the feeling was so compelling though that you had to tune in every week because you're like, I don't know if I learned anything, but I certainly got more questions.
I still feel,
I got more questions. Even if you didn't get answers, you got more questions. And here, I'm just like, I got the same question.
And Lost would at least throw you like a weird detail or something disconcerting, or it would get quirky, or there was always this tone of sort of dread and mystery, and like something's lurking that you can't define. And we're talking about a universe where like there's way more giant monsters and strange timey-wimey things that are happening that we don't all even know about, and yet I don't know, it doesn't feel like there are that many of these creatures roving around at the moment.
And there's also like weird planetary travel stuff that you can do.
Yeah.
Like in Godzilla vs. Kong, they go to Alaska to get Kong into Hollow Earth. Right? Was it Alaska?
Your rewatch is more recent than mine. It's
just like an icy place. Definitely wasn't Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And then when Godzilla, and then when Kong gets to his chair, and then Godzilla attacks, he looks through the hole, and he's in Hong Kong. And I don't think Alaska and Hong Kong are like that close to each other, right? So my point is like there's something with Hollow Earth that creates an interesting thing about travel.
Yeah.
And I thought like, we might do something like that here. But then again, no one's ever been to Hollow Earth, supposedly. But maybe Monarch has
maybe
secrets.
Kurt Russell has. Maybe that's why he's 90, but he's not actually. He's more like 70.
Yeah.
20 years behind his aging.
yeah, it's just the characters. They just lack compellingness, but
well, and
it's getting better.
It's getting it's just it's getting all it keeps getting all right, and it maintains an okayness. I think it is suffering. The one thing I will concretely say is that I do think that it suffers in these last 2 episodes from not having any of the 1950s stuff. And
what? Oh no, the modern day characters and their chemistry.
I want to be the guy who gets hung up on what I want rather than what they're trying to do. But I did feel like having the contrast back and forth in these 2 simultaneous stories was an interesting hook.
And there's also an actual mystery there.
Yeah,
and I felt like I'm also learning stuff, and I'm getting more questions. And then when a question gits answered, it's pretty good. And here it's just. Whoa, Dad had his map.
Yeah. Oh, hey, he didn't have a safe, but he did.
Learned nothing new.
He put these bullet points for us to put up on the sunrise at the window, and this is strange. Very strange show. It's very odd.
It's like if you look, I think last episode is more of a prime example of it all. Like,
sure,
how does Kentaro facing his past traumas lead to him getting on that helicopter and saving everyone, right? Like he just faces it, and then cut to he's on a helicopter out of nowhere, as opposed to like it didn't help with something like overcoming something.
Yeah,
like there's no real growth. You just he faced it. But then this
is a totally different situation.
That's what I mean by how it's divorced, and it's kind of the same thing here. Like she's just running, like she's forced to kind of run through the town, but it's not like, hey, we need to keep going. I can't keep going. No, we have to keep going. And it's like, and she's like getting paralyzed because she's struck by her own trauma, and it's like, okay, in order for them to get the necessary thing, she has to overcome her trauma.
Yeah,
and like, why is Kate the one essential? Why can't May? Why can't May and Kentaro just go and do it themselves? Because they're not the main character, I guess. But they're like, but why can't Kentaro? Like, why that should be addressed?
Yeah.
Like, why we need Kate to go, but Kate is too. Like, all you have to do is like a little bit of reworking. Is like, Kate has to be the one for some reason. I don't know. Show you're the ones with the writers. You make it up
because they're both genetically inheriting their father's blah blah blah.
But I'm saying like there's a reason plot wise, plot, not even character wise. Why Kate has to be the one to go.
Yes.
Right. Why they need her there. There you go. She's the one who knows San Francisco. She's the one who knows how to navigate.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
That's what the show
she
says.
was there.
That's what they do. Right. So they need her.
Yeah.
They need her. But Kate's like, I can't go through there again. I can't. It's too hard for me. She has to deal with all the fucking trauma.
Yeah.
And then so every single time there's a hurdle or something, or there's getting sort of fear, then they have to like in order for them to complete the mission, Kate has to face her trauma.
Has to start clearing trauma.
And I think that's what they were doing. But it's not clear.
No.
And it just kind of seems like they did some of that. But imagine if that's what we all were in unison on.
Imagine if it wasn't just...
she has to face her trauma now. Every single time we're getting a flashback, it feels like essential because then she gets her big crying moment that she got here.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, now we can proceed forward. I know where we have to go. Let's do this. And then she leads the charge.
Yeah, it shouldn't just be the thing we do while Kentaro finds the way out off screen.
Yeah. And now it's like, May, and then May is now like, I want to go home. And so like when deputy director lady or whatever, I don't know what her position is, when she said, they're like, oh, but this one's interesting. When tough girl assassin woman says, oh, this one's interesting about May, and then deputy director lady's like, you don't even know like what. I bet you guys don't even know what their positions are. But I say that, and you just know who the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, totally. Well, because only 4 people work at Monarch right now.
So then deputy director lady is like, but what is her backstory? Why did I was hearing just going, what the fuck does it matter?
It's the most random character of all of them.
Like, what does it matter what her backstory is or what she does? Like, what do you care?
She decrypted the files. That's all your concern is.
Yeah.
And like it's so strange because it's like they could make something out of her because she has been along for the ride, and I like the idea and the work in the scene of her consoling Kate, but at the same time they've not really done anything to really buy or sell the idea that like she is opening up as a person to, like, it seems like she's just doing this because it's like a good thing to do, and you don't want to be a jerk in a situation and leave somebody flailing as they're going through trauma.
But she's sarcastic.
Yeah.
So she's likable.
Yep. Totes. She's like
give her dry sarcasm to mask her pain.
It was nice getting.
Now we got a character.
It was nice getting to that point where they were singing and they were doing the stuff later on in the episode, because I was starting to get little bit grated on about in the first half. I started to find it a bit grating. That I'm like, I know that all these three of the main characters are. They're dealing with trauma and they're dealing with pasts and all that stuff. This is a grumpy gang to hang out with, and they're always kind of snippy at each other, and I'm not like having fun watching them despite that, or I'm not like, well, but they've got like an appealing attitude. They just all seem tired and annoyed.
It's because of their lack of chemistry.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that is what it is.
Like, to use a very different dynamic of a bunch of traumatized characters with like messed up backstories, but then when they hang out, they don't get along, but they have chemistry. And
the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, the Breakfast Club, man. That's what we knew. It was a little
Godzilla Breakfast Club. Just her and the kids. Godzilla attacks.
It's Guardians of the Galaxy, the Suicide Squad, anything of something of like, we don't belong together, but actors have chemistry, so we like watching them not get along.
Yeah.
Because underneath that, so then
and that the reason they don't get along is because of some actual thing underneath that'll come out.
It could be as simple as like a cop from Hong Kong and an LA cop have to work together to save a little girl.
Neither of them wants a partner, but they're forced to work the case.
But you're like, oh man, but if you guys were able to move past this,
you could be unstoppable.
You guys could be,
you could have a whole franchise.
Then they had this whole thing with Tim being like, Monarch's in their blood. I was like,
I think
is that
literal.
Where we were going with this whole time?
I think they are genetically predisposed to have like his intellect and be able to figure his shit out. Like, I think they mean that when they say Monarch is in their
You think they're going to do some like weird sci-fi mumbo jumbo?
I think they are chosen. I think whatever juju permeated Lee.
I don't know, man. I think it was more like how, what's his name? Who's let them fight? Was everyone in the room for that? Because apparently Kurt Russell was.
Serizawa?
Serizawa.
There you go.
Serizawa's kids in Godzilla vs Kong. He's the one who pilots not Shin Godzilla. Mechagodzilla.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Damn.
Yeah, so I think that's what they mean by family.
I guess so. I think it's going to be some kind of.
I think this team's we're going to see in Godzilla X Kong.
I sure hope.
I'm going to get the team of Monarch characters I've been waiting for.
Well, the thing is about that, though, I mean, like with these movies,
it would be more interesting if I knew that's where they were going.
With these, well, I mean, the thing about these American Godzilla productions is that part of you, especially with the track record they've established, part of me, I'm like, well, I might not be loving these characters as of this part of the franchise, but if they come back in a different part under a slightly different guiding voice, it could work,
It started off strong, this show.
Yeah, it did.
I've been seeing the audience score dipping too, and I'm like, thank God people have been catching up with us.
Yeah, well, because it starts with so much promise,
it's still pretty high,
but it stagnates. I don't know. It starts out with that promise at the beginning, and you're like, cool, I can look past whatever else, because I'm sure once we get into the meat, we're going to flesh all that out. And I'm like, we're halfway into a 10-episode season, and I'm like, I feel like we've done so much like physical wheel spinning for like very little actual progress.
Your characters aren't interesting enough for me to like disregard the lack of monster fun.
Yeah, and I will be the first person happy to do that.
Which is what Godzilla Minus One does so well. Is you'll feel like you won't forget it's a Godzilla movie, but you're not like,
but you're not thinking about that stuff. Yeah. So that when it comes in, you're like, oh, that's right. Like, totally. Yeah. There's another I won't mention. there's another movie recently that gave me that exact thing where I was like, there's stuff I expect from things like this, but I'm not even thinking about that. And that's one of the best surprises possible.
Saw X?
Yeah, actually. There are like Saw elements to that movie that like it doesn't forget about, but I forgot about while I was just being pulled into the movie, and I love when that happens. I would love to be bamboozled by characters I actually care for and then get some kaiju icing on top.
Sorry, man. I gotta watch the first Purge, and Now You See Me Too, so I can make sure edits are good.
We've not said enough about this. We'll get to the bottom of it in another hour or so.
This is why we were up late.
Yeah.
Just because we don't know how to shut up
And,
when we're filming.
and for some reason, this show always inspires the most like long-winded, like, why doesn't this work? It shouldn't be that hard.
It was just like, if people just straightforwardly dislike the show, it'd be so much easier to talk about it.
Because each time, every time an episode finishes, you're like, what is it that I don't see in this that everybody else seems to?
Like fucking losing their shit over.
I don't think I'm asking too much. I don't think I'm being too much of a grump about this. I just wish that it felt like we were moving anywhere.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell, I feel like we've spent way more time with Wyatt Russell than Kurt Russell. And I mean,
I just feel like, like when people fucking say the two, I don't know, Kurt Russell's just kind of, Kurt Russell's charming, but I don't
he's
really
coasting, man.
I don't really give a shit
They're
about him.
not using him.
Yeah.
Which is fine if we have Wyatt Russell, but we don't now.
I don't know exactly what people would say when you're like, well, it's not fair to compare Godzilla Minus One and this. And like, I could see a variety of reasons why people would say that, but I'll boil it down to what baffles me is what is a 2-hour movie where there's at least like 20 minutes of like intense action. So really, it's like an hour and a half of character moments there, right?
Sure.
And
it's a 90-minute movie with a 20-minute kaiju scene.
Kind of.
To oversimplify it. I'm sure, because I don't know.
Yeah, it's more spread out than that, yeah. I'm saying that we've been here for freaking 5 hours. These guys should be more interesting.
Yeah, and there's
bottom line, they just should be like, I should care more about what I'm watching. But when the three of them are like at the airport and I'm watching this like forced interactions, like, oh, I'm angry at the flight attendant lady. I'm like, there's something that just feels so off about the direction.
Yeah. This is just kind of abrasive.
I don't know. I feel like they're like one camera shot away from being like a Neil Brennan film. like one shot away.
Maybe.
Of getting good actors and just making them capturing them in an off way because there's no chemistry, and it's really rough. It's rough.
It is rough. It's so strange.
I was really trying, John, and you broke me. You broke me down.
It's okay. This is the one.
Broke me down, John. I was so good. I was like, oh shit, 10 minutes in, I'm done. I said all nice things. I'm ready to call this video. And you wanted to keep talking.
Second half of the season, get ready. It's going to be so good.
Kept talking, and now here I am.
It's going to be so good.
Back to the dark side.
Next episode is going to be great. It's going to give us some revelations. We're going to feel like,
I can't wait, man.
It's just Monarch feels so. These three people, and one of whom is a good hacker, and the other two are just they're just regular people, pretty much.
Yeah.
Have like this whole shadowy Monarch agency. Like, what do we do about these three? And I'm like, why though? Like, I get that May is a good hacker, but other than that, why? Why?
What is the because it's Randos kids.
Yeah, these Randos kids. There's nothing we can do to contain them.
Randos kids.
We just gotta let them do their thing and follow along.
It's like they didn't know about any of this shit.
Like a few days ago.
Yeah.
And they're just like finding random scraps their dad left around that are requiring so much like globe trotting and like crazy scrapes to get to.
There's just so many like easier ways to simplify intensity here.
Yeah.
Of just, I think they get lost in the weeds of pretentious exploration. of just go down. You got someone at Monarch who's like, just kill them. And then other people are like, we shouldn't kill them because these are Randa's kids.
Yeah.
And then that's the divide about legacy of like, does it matter that it's Randa's? Because yes, Randa, John Goodman is like the start of Monarch, and so should they be kept alive just because of that? What does Monarch do? I mean, I thought we're the good people, and now we're just going to kill them off because they know too much.
And are they maybe like irradiated with some kind of kaiju juju?
Then you deconstruct.
You need to study.
Yeah, you deal with Kurt Russell's character. You get the sci-fi element of like, why instead of just constantly being like, shouldn't you be 90? You get like a sci-fi.
They just keep lampshading all the mysteries and then stretching them out.
It's like there's ways where you can do what you're doing and just make it so much more compelling.
Or
just
fun.
Like you have a debate about the ethics of Monarch and what Monarch's place is in this world and what Monarch does, and then you get the sci-fi juju with Kurt Russell, and then bam, you got two sides of Monarch which are interesting.
Yeah.
And then you get the backstory in the 50s. Let's you see the fucking monsters.
Yeah, well, we still have yet to see where Kurt Russell in Wyatt Russell form learns, all the stuff that he keeps saying to them about like, you guys aren't really in control. And you don't really know what you're dealing with. You didn't listen to me. Yeah. And I'm like, I would love to go back to that and listen to that.
Yeah, no, it's really, yeah. I feel like it's just being really dragged out. It kind of feels like I'm watching Iron Fist.
It feels like somebody it feels like a drink. Somebody realized they needed to get 10 people a drink, and they only had a pitcher for 3 glasses. So they're just like, just dump more water into this and spread it out.
If this was 5 episodes, how much more interesting? Like there was stuff here. I'm like, this should have been episode 2. Yeah, there was stuff here I was watching. Like
5 episodes in, and we got our lead a bit of backstory.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I should have learned. This would have been great in like episode 2. There's so much I was watching. Like this would have been so good to see it.
And how much are we going to actually touch back on this? Because my fear also is that we're going to have like, oh man, rainbow flags, and he's got her girlfriend. Oh, she's living this double life. She's cheating and whatnot. And then I feel like we're almost never going to touch on her romantic life ever again after this point.
I mean, I like kind of the casualness of her just being gay, but then the show does like production design choices that seem to be like, girl.
They meet at the activism coffee shop.
Look how gay.
And the school that they go to is a rainbow school.
On G Day.
And I'm like, I know San Francisco was one of the first places in America to legalize gay marriage as a thriving gay community. But I don't know. It didn't feel like it was lovingly handled here. It felt like...
It did have that pander version.
It felt like a capital C choice.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel like it's the problem. It empowers people who feel like they are Cartman in the Panderverse episode, because it is like, I am happy that you did this, and since this is a made-up character, it doesn't matter, so people don't need to be mad, even though I'm sure they will. But what is... Like, I'd rather have the choice than not have the choice, but also, like, did you really care when you made the choice, or did you just... Is it another arbitrary
Yeah, I think
detail?
it would have been better if you just kept the relationship instead of trying to be like... gay stuff.
and
because I'm like, I could give a shit. I didn't even like notice the flag. Like I didn't. You were pointing it out, but the thing is, like a lot of people will notice it. Like I didn't even notice any of that stuff. I was more like, oh, thank God, backstory. Yes.
Yeah, maybe we'll get to know this character a bit better and feel her struggle a little bit more.
She has emotional things that are not. Where's Papa? And I was connected to that. So. And I liked how they like made her a cheater. Like, ooh, it's a little interesting. Cool. So
she's got flaws without being a stereotypical crazy Hollywood lesbian character.
Yeah, and it would have been more cliche if it was like a guy.
Yeah,
because then it's like, oh, here's her daddy issues. Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, make her gay. That's cool. But there, and again, it's always about how something is captured, and so once you start like showing like a bunch of like. Hey, iconography, all this stuff. I feel like now I feel like it's the show trying to make this feel lived in, or are they forcing stuff?
Are we going heightened? Or are we going lived in?
I can't tell now. Now I'm distracted by it because the show's drawing attention to it. When before, if it was just like they show up, they kiss, and they're in a relationship, I wouldn't even have thought twice about it.
Well, and it doesn't. And then the trouble then for me becomes too that the two of them are so utterly perfect that it breaks the illusion that much further, because like her girlfriend, again, fine actress, I like the presence of that character, but I don't feel like I don't know, just it felt like actors on a set who were put together because they're both attractive rather than a real relationship.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like give those like I'm sure both of those actors are capable of making that feel lived in without a whole lot of excess.
Oh, totally, John.
You know, overwrought effort.
Look, man, we gotta end this.
We're done.
Get up early.
This is the longest video of the year.
Guys, what'd you think of Monarch episode 5? Leave your thoughts down below. I think we'll finish it. I'll let you know.
It's gonna be good. Rage watch along with us.
Sure, yeah. Do whatever you want. If you're still here, you've made your bet.
Yeah, you know what you're getting into, and it's only uphill from here.
I've been trying to be nice.
Next week, episode 6 is going to be good. It's going to be the best one yet.
All right,
Feel it.
I'll see you guys soon. Bye, everyone. Bye, John.
Bye, Greg.